It's that time, Spurs fans. What's been going on with some of our favorite, or least favorite, former San Antonio Spurs? What is up, San Antonio Spurs fans? Welcome to TSR Sports. And this type of video we're doing today is something that we do maybe one time a year to catch up with recent, as in within the last 5 years, former San Antonio Spurs. So let's just get right into it. Number one, DeJounte Murray with the Pelicans last year only played 14 games. He ruptured his Achilles on January 31st, 2025, so missed a ton of time. 28 minutes, 17 points, splits of 48, 31, 87, so actually didn't play bad at all. But he will be 30 next season, and I do think his best days were probably in San Antonio, where he led the league in steals one year, made an all-star team. Still a good player, but best time was with San Antonio. Wish him well, though. I know a lot of you don't like DeJounte. I wish him well. Moving right along to a fan favorite, Derek White with the Celtics last year. When you look at his numbers, you're probably going to think, man, Derek White kind of had a down year. 16 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. But what really stands out is his shooting. 39, 33, 90. He did have a rough year offensively when it comes to efficiency. That being said, he killed it on defense. All defensive first team and 6th in defensive player of the year voting. So defensively, Derek White was awesome. He will be 32 next season and has 3 years left on his contract, with each year being 30 mil plus. Could the Celtics possibly try to trade him? Did I say 30 next year or 32 next year? We'll see. The Celtics are starting to turn over some of the roster. Of course, the big change is Jaylen Brown, so I'm very curious how much longer Derek White will be with the Boston Celtics. Jakob Poeltl, been injury prone. Since leaving San Antonio, he cannot stay healthy with the Raptors. Only played 46 games last year. He was fine when he was on the court, but he really has been injury prone with Toronto. In the last 3 seasons, he has played 50 games, 57 games, and 46 games. He's going to be 31 next year and has 4 years left on his contract, worth over $103 million. Ouch. That contract extension is not looking good for Toronto. Good for Jakob, but bad for the Raptors. Sandro Mamukelashvili, a.k.a. Mamu, also with the Raptors, played 80 games and played very well off the bench, shooting 52, 39, 75. A big man that can shoot the 3. Gosh, what team recently could use that? It's us. Obviously, a lot of us wish Mamu stayed with the team. He was not getting minutes, so he moved on. And he had a great year and was 10th in 6th man of the year voting. It's going to be 27 next year and just signed a 4-year, $52 million contract with the Los Angeles Lakers. Congratulations to him. He got paid. Wish him well. It was fun watching him while I was here. I wish it worked out, but it didn't. Speaking of getting paid, Jacques Landale split his time with the Memphis Grizzlies and Atlanta Hawks this season, played 68 games, and also played well off the bench and shot well, 38% from 3. He just got a $14 million contract from the Atlanta Hawks. 1 year, but it's another big that can shoot the 3. And $14 million next season, as opposed to $2.3 last season. Congratulations, Jacques Landale. You know, it's nice to see these former Spurs doing well in other areas. But it also hurts just a little bit to see these former Spurs doing well in other areas, because they could be doing that for us. But it is what it is. Dominic Barlow, you guys remember him with the 76ers, played in 71 games and started quite a few. And, not going to blow you away with the numbers, but he's still young, be 23 next season, has a team option for $3.4 million, which I think the 76ers will pick up. So overall, he's doing pretty well. You don't mess with the Sohan. Jeremy Sohan. First off, congratulations. He is an NBA champion, and it's kind of crazy that he played for both final teams this season, or last season, I guess we say last season. Now played with the Spurs to start the season, was waived at the All-Star break, and then was picked up by the New York Knicks. But we look at his year between the Spurs and Knicks. He had a horrible year. Only played about half the season, was only getting just under 11 minutes a game, 3.5 points, 2.5 boards. 50, 24, 73 is not abysmal, but he just, I don't know. I'm very curious what's going to happen with Jeremy Sohan moving forward. He is a free agent. I do not see him returning to the Knicks. I think if he wants to get ample playing time and develop his basketball, develop and continue his basketball career, he's got to go to a rebuilding team. One of those bottom 8 teams in the league where he might even start again. Because playing like this, getting this playing time, he's not going to be in the NBA much longer. C.D. Sissoko. You guys remember him? Drafted the same year as Victor Wembanyama. Drafted low 40s. I don't remember the pick overall. I'm going to guess 44, but I don't actually remember. Now at the Portland Trailblazers, and he started quite a few games for Portland. He's young. He'll be 22 next season. Still can't shoot. 40, 33, 66. Can't shoot to save his life. But overall, seems like he's doing okay in Portland. Our former starting point guard just a few years ago, Trey Jones with the Chicago Bulls, had a career, played 65 games, 27 minutes, a career best 14.1 points per game on splits of 55. 55 is phenomenal. 32 is not great. 55, 32, 84. Seems like he's found a good home in Chicago. He's going to make $8 million next year. He's still young. He'll be 27 next season. Feels like he's older than that, but he's not. And speaking of feeling like they're older than that, because he's been in the league for about a decade, everybody's favorite middle finger, Zach Collins, barely played with the Bulls last season. He fractured his wrist, I believe, to start the season, and had surgery to fix something on his right toe. It was some kind of sprained right toe. He did shoot well off the bench, though, 58-43. He's going to make about $8 million. I believe it's $8 million next season. He'll be 29. He's still young. He's only going to be 29. I feel like Zach Collins should be like in his 30s, but he's going to be 29 next season. If he can stay healthy, though, he also seems like he has found a nice little home in Chicago. Malachi Branham, one of the other players selected in the 2022 draft, was traded to the Hornets and waived. He actually never played for the Hornets and didn't do much when he was in Washington, which isn't saying much. It's the Wizards. If you can't find playing time in Washington, it's not looking good for you. Traded to the Hornets, waived. He's currently a free agent. I wonder if he's done. Like, just no longer going to be in the... If he's not going to get picked up, he's young, but just... I think he might be done. And speaking of maybe done, the last player from the 2022 draft, don't forget we drafted Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley, all first-round picks, all no longer with the Spurs. Blake started the year with a fractured foot, missed a lot of time. He is a free agent. Could he also be done? I don't know. Last but not least, I did almost forget him, but digging through the Spurs rosters over the last 4 years, Charles Bassey, and that is not a typo. Charles Bassey last season played for the Memphis Grizzlies, Philadelphia 76ers, Boston Celtics, and the Golden State Warriors. And between those 4 teams, he played 13 games. He had 6 10-day contracts last season between those 4 teams. I can't confirm, but that seems like that might be an NBA record for one season. 4 teams and 6 10-day contracts. Maybe somebody else out there I can't think of had something similar. I liked Charles, but man, he was injury prone and could just not stay healthy with our Spurs, and has now become obviously a journeyman to the extreme. Now, we do have some honorable mentions that I do want to talk about. No longer in the NBA, Lonnie Walker. I like Lonnie. Always remember that game against the Rockets. Double overtime game, I believe. Joshua Primo. Will always remember him for the wrong reasons. Cedi Osman. Remember him? Played 1 season with the Spurs. KBD. Keita Bates-Diop, who had that incredible game against the Lakers where he dropped, I think it was like 31 points. And was he perfect from the field, or did he miss 1 shot? I can't remember. I want to say it was like 11-11 from the field. Romeo Langford. Lots of potential coming to the NBA and just never could capitalize. It was injury prone. Joe Wieskamp, the other draft pick from Joshua Primo's draft. Josh Richardson, no longer in the NBA. Somebody might ask about Juan Nunez, still in Spain. And last but not least, I didn't want to forget him, but I just kind of ran out of room to put him in the video here. Doug McDermott is still with the Kings. I believe he played around 25 to 30 games last year. I'm guessing he might retire after this season. Get him out of Sacramento. Bring him back to the Spurs. Well, actually, you know what? If we have an open space, bring him back on a vet minimum. Why not? There you go. That's something we haven't talked about the channel on. This is just spur of the moment. No pun intended. But if Dougie's going to be like 35, if he'll come over to the Spurs for whatever the minimum is for a vet these days, $2.5 million, why not? He can still shoot the 3. Can't do much else, but he can still shoot the 3. And I know quite a few viewers would be very happy if he came back to the Spurs. All right, with doing this video, though, isn't it crazy all the changes our Spurs have gone through in the last about 4 years? All these players that were here, a lot of these guys that we like, maybe some of you didn't like, I know, but a lot of players we thought had potential, and we're like, man, DeJounte Murray I thought was going to be our point guard for the next decade. Nope. Jeremy Sohan I thought was going to be our starting power forward for the next decade. Nope. And then just so many other guys that have passed through, that have come and gone. But I thank them for their time here. Once a Spur, always a Spur. All right, let me know in the comments down below. Did I miss anybody that's recent? No, not anybody like Kawhi Leonard, who left many, many, many years ago. Not even in this decade he left. But anybody in like the last 4 years was pretty much who I was focusing on, kind of 222 to the present. Did I miss anybody that stands out? Is there anybody that we talked about that you missed and you're like, TSR, I really wish he was still a Spur. Sucks it didn't work out. Or maybe you just want him back in general. I mean, Sohan's a free agent. Dougie's a free agent. Malachi, Blake, any of those guys you want back? Are you all via con Dios, amigos? Or are you just glad all these guys are no longer Spurs? Please let me know in the comments. It'll be fun reading your opinions on this. Hit the thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And subscribe to become part of our Spurs community. Thank you, and as always, go Spurs go.